Hi everyone, this is Athena from Courage Coaching. Thank you so much for stopping by today. I wanted to talk about the difference between toxic and narcissistic individuals. Now, this is an important topic because people are using the word narcissist about absolutely everybody in their life that they don't like, they don't get on with, and this is wrong. When we call someone a narcissist, we need to be very careful that we are not disrespecting those individuals who have really had it tough, who have actually had members of their family with a personality disorder such as narcissism, people who have been in domestically abusive partnerships, relationships with someone with a personality disorder, because these individuals have truly suffered. When you are in a relationship with someone that has MPD, you don't just get uncomfortable around them. You don't just feel weird or tired or drained. You end up experiencing a lot more. You end up being traumatized by these individuals. So it's not right that the word narcissist is being overused in this way. We can call somebody toxic because they may have certain behaviors that we find really uncomfortable, but it doesn't mean that a toxic individual is also a narcissist. A narcissist, on the other hand, is always toxic, but a toxic person isn't always a narcissist. So let's differentiate between the two. What makes somebody a narcissist and what makes somebody toxic? Now, a narcissist has a personality disorder, and they have the following characteristics that are very important to remember before we call somebody a narcissist. And obviously, let's be aware that we cannot diagnose someone. We are not a clinical psychologist or a psychiatrist. Obviously, we can go with our gut. So if we see that a person meets all of the characteristics I'm going to mention, then we know that we are in a toxic, narcissistically abusive relationship. So a narcissist has the following: an excessive need for validation and admiration. They have very low empathy. They have a sense of entitlement. They are grandiose and very arrogant. They have extremely low self-esteem. They are very superficial. They are pathologically selfish, and they envy other people and also believe that other people envy them. Now, a very important thing to remember with somebody with all of these traits is that they will use certain abusive behaviors towards people that they are in contact with, such as gaslighting, such as other manipulation tactics. They are extremely hot and cold, which creates something known as intermittent reinforcement, which eventually creates a trauma bond in the person that they are abusing. They are extremely harmful. They can be very sadistic at times. They have no remorse for any bad behavior. They never apologize for things that they have done. They are completely emotionally immature. And a very important thing to remember is that when you are in a relationship with a narcissistic individual, you will end up suffering with trauma as a result of this relationship. Whereas on the other hand, when you are just with a toxic person, this individual may have certain behaviors that you find toxic, but they will not have all of the characteristics I just mentioned that a narcissist has. Now, you will notice a narcissist when they are extremely rude to waiting staff, or when they are not willing to stand in line or stand in a queue because they think that they deserve special treatment. You will see a narcissist being extremely immature, extremely selfish. You will see a narcissist being really nasty to others and not apologizing. A narcissist will not be able to empathize. Toxic individuals, on the other hand, may have some bad characteristics, some traits that we see in them that make us feel really uncomfortable. But it doesn't mean that they have all of these other characteristics that a narcissist has. Now, a toxic individual could be toxic to you, but your friend or somebody else that knows them doesn't consider them toxic. So it's very important to remember that when somebody is toxic, this is a subjective experience. So we may find someone very rude because they are too abrupt and too forward and too honest in the way that they speak. Whereas somebody else may find this person's way of communicating as extremely refreshing, because at least they know that they're always going to get the truth, that this person is always going to be honest. And it can also be a cultural difference. So we may find this person uncomfortable, whereas somebody else will think, well, this is normal. There can be people out there that are racist, but are not narcissistic. There can be people out there that are extremely judgmental, but are not narcissistic. There can be people out there where you just don't feel comfortable around, where if you speak your mind, they will have a go at you, where you really need to watch what you say around them and you sort of feel like you're walking on eggshells. But this still doesn't mean that they're narcissistic. When we look at narcissistic individuals, this isn't just a subjective point of view that we have. It is a personality disorder. Narcissists can be extremely vengeful towards others if the other people in their life suddenly decide to end the relationship with them. A narcissist will not tolerate this. Their ego will be so severely bruised because they have such low self-worth that they will be very spiteful and vengeful, and they will make that person's life hell. Whereas a toxic person, they'll be a bit upset that you stopped talking to them, but they will be like, all right, well, that's just how it is, and they'll move on. They wouldn't have such a huge bruise to their ego. They wouldn't find that this is really making them feel worthless. They wouldn't have this spiral of shame that a narcissist has. Toxic people may just be extremely selfish and do things a certain way because in reality, well, they're really anxious, they're really sensitive, and they've learned to protect themselves. And to you, that may come across as someone who's really selfish, who never wants to spend time with you, who always wants to do things their way. That could also be that they have OCD and that they have to do things a certain way, otherwise they don't feel safe. So there's a lot of different scenarios that are worth thinking about. There are many toxic people out there that may have some behaviors that we don't like, but you're still able to reason with them. You're still able to get maybe a genuine apology from them. They still have empathy, but they have some behaviors that are not so nice. And you don't have to spend time with these people if you don't want to. That's absolutely fine. So just before I finish the video, just remember this. When you are looking at a person and you want to call them a narcissist, look at the whole package. Look at the traits. Do they have all of the traits of somebody with NPD? If they do not, then they are not a narcissist. It could be that you are in somebody's company who's extremely competitive and that really annoys you. That doesn't make them a narcissist. It could be that you're with somebody who's extremely snobby and looks down on other people. Yeah, that's not a very nice trait, and a lot of narcissists are like that. But if they don't meet all the other criteria, they are not a narcissist. So what is your experience? If you want to share your experience with someone who's toxic versus someone who's narcissistic, then please feel free to do so in the comments below the video. Thank you so much for listening and for watching today, and I will see you very, very soon. Take care. Bye-bye.